So we all met in Belize City, and people were coming from all over, from whether it was Seattle, Boston, Florida, Canada, Chicago. We all met, and it was really great seeing everybody for the first time. And we got to spend the whole day at a pool and hanging out and having a good time. We even had a little session from the people that were taking us out to the island. There was a little bit of instruction, so we had to know what to do. The next morning we picked up supplies that we needed, any last minute supplies. And then a small boat took us out. We were going 65 miles off the coast to this little tiny island, so that was quite an adventure in and of itself.
The very first thing when you get off the airplane is just vroom, you know, you just feel that wonderful tropical air, and it's just like instant relaxation.
The reason why we do these trips is to build relationships with our franchises, to move away from our day-to-day and spend time in interesting environments. We're able to get to know each other on a personal level. We get to know our family. We just have good FaceTime.
FaceTime couldn't be more valuable. We spend a lot of time on the phone and emails, but actually having that constant interaction when everyone's relaxed and they're not in their environment is very important.
This island's amazing. I mean, it's 13 acres. There's no plumbing, there's no electricity here. We're not sitting on our phones the whole time, and we're connected. I mean, people are really connecting, unlike you do anywhere else. I mean, you can't pick up a phone. There is no electricity.
It's a bunch of friends from across our countries that have come together to go on a trip. So it's certainly not work. It's an adventure with a bunch of friends.
It helps us know each other as individuals, and that allows us, I think, to be more open with each other in sharing information, and that exchange of information and that exchange of ideas, that exchange of resources is what being in a franchise system is all about.
There are some franchisees here who have like huge offices, but they're so down to earth and they're so easy to talk to, and I can ask them. I can ask them what they were doing when they were my age, you know?
These people at home office are really genuine, amazing people, and the opportunity to connect with them makes it so much easier for them to help you.
Everybody's always willing to help everybody, and it's just a really nice community. When they put out the idea to come to Belize, it was an instant. I don't think it was an hour that they posted it that I hadn't already responded that I was coming. And it's just stuff that you would never do on your own.
It's amazing to be able to do some of the activities that got put together, like kayaking.
In order to go out and see kayaks, they had to train us on how to do rescues, and we had to buddy up with people. So it was really fun watching people that sort of never really worked together, pulling each other over onto the kayaks and getting them out of the water. And after doing something like that, you have a different relationship with the person.
It's the first time I did kayaking or windsurfing. Everything is my first time ever.
So yesterday we did like a low tide walk, and we basically waded around with a bucket with a see-through bottom in it, and we turned over rocks and we could see all the starfish, and I held a lot of interesting animals.
Going out with the franchisees, going snorkeling, going scuba diving, doing some things that I'd never done before, and being able to share that experience with so many other people, which is like we're a family all together.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe I went scuba diving.
It was a wonderful, wonderful experience. We were down at 45 feet for about 45 minutes. We saw a huge grouper, we saw the most amazing schools of fish. It was everything that I thought it was going to be.
I loved it. I had such a good time. It was a highlight. I conquered my fear of claustrophobia and sharks.
I've also made sure I got some R&R and some hammock time, get some good reading time in. So I want to come back well rested, like I just spent a week on an island.
Just sitting down together to eat and just even relaxing over, over a drink together, and just people are smiling, and if you look up at dinner and people are just like absolutely laughing and enjoying each other's company, and to me that's the greatest joy of this trip.
I lived my whole life I went right when I should have gone left there. What do you want to do?
Because of the sand and the dots coming out, but I've never had rain here.
The storm was no joke. It was by far the worst storm I've ever been in, and the worst storm I've been in a home. Here we're out where everything's thatched roofs and grass. I mean, keeping things together. It was scary.
Last night, they say the winds were up as high as 70 miles per hour, and I believe it because I've been in some storms, and that was a scary storm. It knocked down a lot of the buildings on the island and all that.
And I look outside and there's just rain and there's thunder and lightning everywhere.
The storm was crazy. I've never seen anything like that before in my life.
I'm just glad that we're all together, and I think we handled it pretty well, and what didn't kill us make us stronger. That's the way I see it.
I had not been to a storm like that my whole life.
When it was all said and done, we were all gathered up and everybody was safe, and that will be an experience that the group of us will never forget.
After the storm, there was a whole lot of mess to clean up.
Broken glass bottles everywhere that were in crates and were moved and just broken everywhere.
Some of the trees were uprooted. Some of the buildings on the island were damaged and wrecked.
I think it finally hit me like, whoa, we were in the middle of a really awful storm.
The staff came out and said, you guys are on vacation, we're still going to do activities, so does anybody want to do activities? Everybody said, no, we're not doing nothing until this place is cleaned up. Everybody got together.
So Mark gave his, hey guys, I'm going to help here, you don't have to, but we're going to help to get this island back to what it was.
Everyone took Mark's lead. Mark was really clear, let's help out, and we all rallied around that.
And then Lucy stood up and said, okay, I want a show of hands of who's going to help so that we could organize, and every single person just instantaneously just raised their hand, and that was great.
Nobody wanted to do anything. All we wanted to do was clean up. And I thought it was an opportune moment, seeing how we are a residential cleaning company, that we could clean up the island altogether.
Mark and Richard, when they choose their franchisees, I think that they choose people that they know are just good in the core. And you saw that when everybody just instantaneously, yes, of course, we're on vacations, so what? We're here to help.
You saved my life. I didn't say anything.
And it was nice. It was a good example of work ethic. However, it meant a lot to the people here who are serving us for the time we're here. It was a great example of people working together.
If you're working as a team, things get done. It didn't take us very long, and it seemed like we just all piled together and worked together and worked real hard.
Everybody helps everybody, and it's a team. It's making everybody's life better.
And for us to just come together and go above and beyond, I mean, that says a lot about who we are as a company. It says who we are as individuals. It just, it says a lot about the human race in general.
I think the number one highlight was obviously the Humanitarian Aid project, going to the orphanage to see the children.
Lyle came to me and said, hey, we're going to Belize. He brought up his idea of going to the orphanage and kind of sponsoring the kids and bringing, something to each one of them. And I immediately was like, great idea, like, let's do it.
The orphanage was just amazing. Being a mother of 3 kids and seeing these kids without, I'm going to get all teary-eyed, but it just, you just want to take them all home. And everything that you brought, you think, I could have brought more.
To be in the orphanage and see the kids there, the joy they had, that was a wonderful part, and sharing this with everybody else was beautiful to have this opportunity.
I would never think to do that if I go traveling. So, and the fact that we'll be able to do it for the whole group and be able to bring gifts for each children, it's priceless.
I felt like I was Santa Claus because I had this big suitcase filled with clothing and other items for the orphanage. And so, I went up to the girl and I said, I said, what's your favorite color? She's like, my favorite color is pink. I brought her out these new shoes, and you should have just seen the look on her face. She was just so excited about it.
It was intense. It was humbling. It was surreal just to be somewhere that has such poverty. The area was different than what most of us are used to.
It's very special for me. It was tough. It was tough. For me, it was probably the best part of the trip, or the most significant part of the trip that I'll take home with me.
Just to be able to make a kid happy. I can't even talk about it right this second. It was big to me and to everybody.
It's a lot to process and wondering, what will happen with them. And I know they appreciated our few gifts. We lit their faces up for that moment, so that was a good thing.
Just really seeing how much everybody really just cared about each other and other human beings. Just to see the joy on these little kids' faces, that was pretty awesome.
That was so unique, I don't think I would have thought of it, and I'm sure proud to have been a part of it.
I need a beer.
This is an amazing opportunity to connect with other franchisees, with the home office.
So we get to hang out together, and we have a business relationship together, but at the end of the day, we're just people.
It's going to be so great too, going back and knowing these people intimately.
When you have the opportunity to get together with some of the most important people in your life, because these are the people whom your financial well-being is shared. Investing in those relationships is part of what being here is about.
You get to know other people in the organization, the other franchise owners, and you pick up invaluable information.
The feeling I bring back from this trip is going to carry maybe 6 months and another 600 clients.
The trip is awesome.
The island itself is amazing.
This trip has been glorious.
It was amazing. It was so amazing.
You don't get chances like this to just hang out with people on this level. It's just a huge benefit.
I would recommend this to anybody that is operating a made-for franchise to take part in these trips. I wish more people would. It would be an amazing experience to have more of us here.
These retreats do allow for those sort of family-type connections.
I really hope that we'll be doing this more often.
Anytime I have a chance to go and be with colleagues and have an adventure, I'm going to be there if possible. So yeah, I'm coming back again.
When the rest of the franchise sees this video, the next trip's going to book up in about 10 minutes. And if it doesn't, well, we got some silly people out there.
We had people here from 24 years old to 74 years old, and it is and can be for everyone. And I think it will change the course of anyone's business.